Hola familias de Golden Valley. Me llamo Senorita Bieling y soy la maestra de español y de estudios culturales. It is my pleasure to offer this year's Cultural Studies curriculum to Golden Valley schools. This will be my third year teaching at Golden Valley and my 10th year teaching at Waldorf Charter Schools in Northern California. As a K-8 public Waldorf graduate myself, and an alumnus of the first Waldorf charter school in California, I find great meaning and fulfillment in participating in the Waldorf charter movement, and I personally see it as the future of Waldorf education. Your participation as families in this movement is meaningful as well, which is why I'm grateful for this very unique opportunity to collaborate with you in the education of your children. At Golden Valley, we have renamed our foreign language offerings Cultural Studies because of the diversity of curriculum that we provide. And you will hear me refer to both of these terms throughout the year. To provide some context for this program, it's important for me to mention that when Rudolf Steiner founded the first Waldorf school in Germany in 1919, his mission was to provide an education that would promote social change and world citizenship. This was at a time when Europe was recovering from World War I. And I mention this as a theme because I believe these goals are equally important and relevant today, 100 years later. Additionally, it's this concept that formed the impetus for teaching foreign languages through the grades in Waldorf schools. As you know, it's pretty uncommon to find school programs in the United States especially that teach foreign languages to grade students. This is something that's usually reserved for the high school. Golden Valley, on the other hand, offers the opportunity for children to begin language learning from a time when their brains are still forming and when they're most able to absorb this new information as something that they would were it their first language. In the Waldorf tradition, we provide an experience as close to immersion as possible within our foreign language classes. And this year, students grades 1 through 8 will be offered Spanish in addition to some cultural curriculum that will be presented in English. We also emphasize learning through the arts and through experience. And we're using this concept that we call from the whole to the parts. It's something that you may have heard of. And what it means is that when I present a poem, for example, to the students in Espanol, we learn the poem together through recitation in the early grades. Only in 3rd or 4th grade do we take this poem and actually write it in our Spanish books. It's not until the upper grades that we dissect the poem grammatically and begin to explore all of the parts that exist within the whole of the poem. In 7th and 8th grade, we go into the study of biography. Maybe we look into who the author was that wrote the poem and the historical context in which the poem was written. You can see that this is very different from many educational approaches, as it invites the children to step into the entirety of the language. They internalize this poem and it becomes part of them, just as our native language is a part of us from the time we begin to speak. Perhaps my favorite part about this educational model is that because the children are actively living their learning experience, as opposed to memorizing facts for a quiz, there's less need for students to be tested in the traditional sense. So much of what the students learn from a young age is integrated into their being, becoming part of who they are. As the cultural studies teacher, I will bring my personal experience as well as carefully selected cultural stories, songs, poems, biographies, and opportunities for movement. It is my hope that we can take advantage of the uniqueness of this moment in time and create something that is fun, rich, new, and alive. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to seeing your faces on Zoom, as well as your children's faces. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta luego.